mean, they're all despicable and they're all liars and they're all grifters. But the way I look at this is I look at this as something strategic, right? For the last week, guys, Charlie Kirk gets blown away. And then for a week, they've been running around. Oh, we're going to get stronger. We're going to get bigger. Our movement just got even more powerful. 1 million Charlie Kirks. You're going to regret this, all this crazy shit. But they were coping, okay? They were coping like real hard, okay? But the reality is Charlie Kirk was their linchpin. He was the voice to the younger generation. He was the guy radicalizing the young male army, going to the frat houses, winning these other misogynist young white dudes over. And he was the future of their post-Donald Trump politics. He was the guy with the reality TV charisma who had a huge following, that had the youth behind him, that was going to be the heir apparent to Donald Trump. And now he's dead. He's gone. Their entire political future beyond Donald Trump bled out on that field in Utah. And they know it, okay? They know it. So they've been like coping and saying, oh, Erica's going to win over the women now and all this, that, and the other. But like, dude, none of that's going to happen. They've been saying she's more conservative. A conservative woman is not winning over liberal women, and she's certainly not going to win over any of the fucking young men, okay? Now, the thing about it is, though, is from our vantage point, is how do we destroy the movement? Because at the end of the day, we need to destroy TPUSA. We need to destroy the MAGA movement. And we need to like unravel that fucking grooming that like Charlie Kirk and Benny Johnson and all these motherfuckers did. Now, one thing we do know is that a lot of these really haughty, really arrogant right-wing people, they're going to chill out a little now because they're worried about taking a bullet, okay? And it's pretty clear that Tyler is not a leftist. They're going to say he's a leftist, but they know he's a fucking bumpkin Mormon who was raised in a MAGA family. They know they're not safe from their own people. And that's like dangerous, okay? All the young people that were real outspoken, they're going to chill out too because of like bullets flying. So this Tyler Robinson kid really did a number on their whole fucking machine. Okay, and now Candace Owens is getting in there and like trying to fuck it up too. But we, though, on the left, got to figure, how do we dismantle this? Because we got to bring it down, okay? We got to bring it down. But anyway, to get to Candace here, I find it interesting that MAGA's having this rift because obviously the free speech and the hate speech thing, like, that could really come back to haunt them in a major way. They're all cheering for it now, but it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But now, isn't she going off on a conspiracy theory? Like, here she is. I've spent hours working through this timeline, and I am now fully of the belief that this is, in fact, a federal conspiracy. There is no other explanation. They're lying about Charlie Kirk's assassination. So this is a big MAGA riff, though, guys, because what is she doing? Is she just hitting the cash register, which is very believable for Candace Owens, but what is this going to do to the MAGA people? You know that there's a huge portion of MAGA that are prone to conspiracy thinking. So how divided is this going to get? Because we know, when I hear Bondi talking about there's free speech and there's hate speech, we know what that really means. That means that they're going to prosecute the speech of leftists. It does. They're going to prosecute the speech of leftists, and they're going to prosecute the speech of anybody who disagrees with Trump. We know that it's mostly about hunting down leftist organizations, and it's about harming people who say negative things about Trump. For the most part, MAGA is going to be immune unless they get anti-Trump. Then they're going to be in trouble. But I'm intrigued how this conspiracy theory shit is going to play, because obviously Candace Owens is going crazy about Charlie Kirk, and somebody said she had like 200,000 people watching her. So there's huge, look at this. There's huge numbers of MAGA people that are watching this woman. Candace Owens boycotts the Charlie Kirk Memorial over federal conspiracy suspicions. I don't see how this can't be beneficial, right? You know what I mean? I feel like this is beneficial in some way, shape, or form, because if they foment, to use Stephen Miller's favorite word, if they foment this idea that the government killed Charlie Kirk, that could cause some fucking MAGA damage, bro. Right? Oh, shit. Dude, that's pretty wild. So she says she's not going.
I said there is no way we are going to this event now. There's a 0% chance. First and foremost, why are you saying but anybody can go to it? You just buy a ticket to the event, and you're all working to try to get me to confirm that I'm going. And you're doing this as if you're trying to like push my buttons and be like, we got to make her get into her ego so she like shows up and like posts it on social media. Nope, actually, while I'm attacking the feds, maybe not going to a public event, which the feds are organizing, is probably a very good idea. I'm good. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to listen to Power on my headphones and go see Ye. How's that for a memorial for Charlie Kirk? That feels like the right thing for me to do right now.
Dude, you had to go see the Nazi? Bro, but this is like a little bit of rift here, okay? This is a little bit of rift, right? After a week claiming Charlie Kirk secretly had views opposite his public statements, pushing conspiracies about his murder, she's not attending the memorial. But there's a little rift, guys. Okay? I mean, she is batshit, but look at Laura Loomer. She isn't welcome. That's the real reason, and she knows it. Multiple TPUSA staffers told me she's not welcome. So here's the scoop, though, is like all of these people, I feel like, are dangerous of their own accord, right? How much do you think she can rattle the MAGA coalition, Candace Owens? I mean, there were like 200,000 people watching her. She doesn't have it figured out yet. Well, I mean, I don't think she even knows, there's no way she's going to like figure it out. There's nothing to really figure it out. But I think, though, the benefit of this type of behavior, guys, is to just stir animosity and distrust inside the MAGA coalition, which is helpful, So it's just really interesting that she is out here like trying to fracture this shit, okay? These are supposedly texts from Charlie Kirk. I watched the podcast. Candace needs to say two things, and this will stop in its tracks. They're fundamental conservative principles. She didn't say either Israel is not committing genocide, 30 dead, blah, 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 America first. This is not Ukraine. This is right. I'm really trying to help her. It's being worked on. I don't do the silly virtue signaling stuff. Looks like many conservatives are taking the first exit off the train as turning point. Thought through what they are going to do. It's being worked on. I don't do silly virtue signaling stuff publicly. What exactly is she talking about? Where does she get this stuff from? I'm not being sarcastic. I'm so confused. I don't know. I think she has entered a dark world of conspiracy. She's looking for the Jewish angle in every rock she turns over. Maybe someone Kanye knows seems to be going down the same crazy train, Sven type guru. So she was turning into like Jewish conspiracy theory shit, and Charlie Kirk was already doing damage control. So some shit's been going on, I guess, with TPUSA and Candace Owens before this. Dude, it's really interesting. Like, you know what I think? From a purely strategic standpoint, guys, I think we need to encourage Candace Owens. Honestly, we need to encourage Candace Owens. I think everybody on the left needs to back her up and start like encouraging her to continue the fucking narrative, to get like way out to the fringes. I know, dude, I'm serious. I'm gonna get in her replies, dude. I'm gonna start cheering her on. I am, dude. There are many rifts. Okay, there's a rift between TPUSA and obviously Nick Fuentes, but there's a big rift over Israel with Candace Owens. But now, guys, I'm going to tell you, though, something. Something is up with Netanyahu. This guy never spoke about Charlie Kirk at all. You never heard him say anything about Charlie Kirk. And now the motherfucker won't shut up about him. Okay? I'm serious, dude. He is like, every time you turn around, Netanyahu is making some comment about Charlie Kirk. Like, look at this shit, dude. Look at this. And he's saying Israel didn't kill him. I swear, Israel didn't kill him, dude.
Joseph Goebbels, the Nazi propaganda minister, said that the bigger the lie, the faster it will spread. Well, somebody has fabricated a monstrous big lie that Israel had something to do with Charlie Kirk's horrific murder. This is insane. It is false.
Dude, he's making a video, bro. What is going on, dude?
It is outrageous. Charlie Kirk was a giant, a once-in-a-century talent who defended freedom, defended America, defended our common Judeo-Christian civilization.
Believable.
Charlie loved Israel. He loved the Jewish people. He told me so in a letter that he sent me just a few months ago.
Oh, yeah.
One of my
greatest... now he's got a letter from Charlie. Me and Charlie were FaceTiming. Dude, we used to get on TikTok and send animal videos to each other. Dude, hey, what's he going to say next? He's like, I sent Charlie videos of me killing Palestinian children. And Charlie's like, oh, thank you, Benny.
His joys as a Christian, he said, is advocating for Israel and forming alliances with Jews to protect Judeo-Christian civilization. He encouraged me to make the case directly to the American people about how vital Israel is to U.S. national security. He told me, the Holy Land is so important to my life, it pains me to see support for Israel slip away. Now, if Charlie disagreed with a policy of mine or a decision here and there, not only did I not mind, I welcomed it. This is the essence of Charlie. This is the essence of a free country. It's exactly what Charlie stood for.
Dude, what the fuck is going on, bro? Why is Benny Netanyahu making videos about Charlie Kirk, bro? Something about this. He's like all chummy. Dude, he's been talking about Charlie Kirk since the assassination. The essence of Charlie. Something is really not right with this, guys.
And I knew that his suggestions always came from the heart, from his love for Israel and from his love for the Jewish people. A few weeks before his death, I spoke to Charlie. I invited him to visit Israel again.
Oh, yeah.
And sadly, that won't happen. Now some are peddling these disgusting rumors, perhaps out of obsession, perhaps with Qatari funding.
Oh,
what
Qatari.
I do know is this.
Dude, like, did Qatari give Trump $400 million plane to start the rumors? Dude, what is going on, bro? We are living in, like, the upside down right now.
Charlie Kirk was a great man, and a great man deserves honor, not lies. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. May your memory be a blessing.
Dude, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Dude, what is going on? Isn't that weird? Isn't that fucking weird, guys? That, like, all of a sudden Benny Netanyahu is up there just, like, making videos about Charlie Kirk. Dude, he has literally not stopped talking about him. There's something about that is strange. And he's been tweeting about him, right? Charlie Kirk was murdered for speaking truth and defending freedom, a lion-hearted friend of Israel, yada, yada, yada. Now, this is simultaneously when Charlie was starting to create a problem with the Epstein files, and we know that Ehud Barak, the old prime minister of Israel, is tied into this Epstein shit, right? There's something going on with Israel and Epstein, and it may not be the conspiracy theory that everybody thinks about Mossad, but there is some fucking connection between the former prime minister, at least, of Israel, and Jeffrey Epstein and Peter Thiel and Prince Andrew and Donald Trump. There is a deep fucking connection with these guys. And you know, and that Israeli citizen that was at a convention in Vegas who got busted pursuing a young 16-year-old girl, and then he gets flown out of the country. Boom, gone. That's fucked up, bro. And dude, Netanyahu has tweeted like multiple tweets, dude, about Charlie Kirk, right? A constant, oh, Charlie was more than a friend of Israel. Dude, something is going on here.
And the Israeli hard-right government has a mandate, I gotta be careful the way I say this, they're gonna try to ethnically cleanse Gaza. Yep. I mean, I don't use that term lightly, okay? They're talking about basically removing 2.5 million people from there.
Dude, he was laughing when he said it. He's like, I don't use that term lightly, but let me laugh. What the fuck, bro?
Okay. And honestly, they have a mandate to go seek justice and revenge. They do. This idea that they need to have a truce or a peace treaty, that's morally crap after you see women and children be burned alive and dragged to the streets. But there are some serious questions here, Patrick. And let me tell you, my pattern recognition over the last 5 years has become pretty sharp. COVID, Maui fires, Epstein. When I see a story and it doesn't click, our guts are usually right. So I've been to Israel many times. The whole country's a fortress. When I first heard this story, I still had the same gut instinct that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that's an IDF soldier. Right, the whole country is surveilled. And so let me just kind of go through this.
Dude, he sure doesn't sound like a friend of Israel, right? I mean, he sort of is a friend of Israel, but he sort of isn't a friend of Israel too, dude, We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel was on the brink of civil war. It's not an exaggeration. This judicial stuff, there were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu is basically redefining the Israeli constitution. That's not an exaggeration, right? Dude, it seems like he's pro-Israel, but I'm not convinced he's pro-Netanyahu. And even the way he referred to it as the hard right government of Israel in the very beginning, right? This is really intriguing.
He said the judicial branch has too much power. There were protests planned this week against Netanyahu, where they anticipated tens of thousands of people to take to the streets. That's all gone, Patrick. Netanyahu now has an emergency government and a mandate to lead. I'm not willing to go so far that saying that Netanyahu knew or there was intelligence here, but I think some questions need to be asked. Was there a stand down order?
Dude, that's quite an accusation. He's asking the question of Netanyahu if they knew October 7th was happening and there was a stand down order delivered from Netanyahu himself. Now, that's some bold fucking claims coming from Charlie Kirk that sort of fly in the face of what Netanyahu was talking about. Right? Dude, everybody there is just a pin drop. So we know Charlie Kirk was pro-Israel. I don't think Charlie Kirk was pro-Netanyahu. You know what I mean? He certainly didn't sound like it, okay? But questioning if there was a stand down order, that's a big deal coming from a far right person, somebody in the Trump camp. Dude, feels like a big no-no. And now what do we have? We have Bibi running around being like, Charlie was a great friend of mine. And I'm like, really? Bibi, did you and Charlie talk about the possibility that there was a stand down order? Yeah, no, I know. At Epstein, there's a lot of chaos here, guys. Something about this doesn't add up, bro. What is up, guys? Thank you so much for watching. You like the video, you want to support independent resistance media, you know what to do. Drop that sub, hit the like button, and please share it. And we do love our members, so if you want to become a member, it's another really great way to support. Thanks again for everything, guys. I'll see you next time. Let's go.